Holmes, and today I'm going to be walking you through the complete step-by-step process of relocating to Los Angeles and buying your dream home here. So whether you're moving from across the country or just considering LA as your next chapter, this process can feel a little bit overwhelming. But you don't have to worry, and I'm going to be breaking down my proven 15-step system that's going to take you from your first call all the way to settling into your new LA home. But by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to expect and how to make your relocation smooth, stress-free, and successful. So let's dive in. So your first step, of course, is going to be schedule your relocation call with me or your preferred realtor. Everything starts with your relocation call. This is where myself or your realtor are going to get to know you. During this call, we'll discuss your goals for moving to Los Angeles, your needs, whether that's proximity to work, if that's great schools, if it's a specific lifestyle that you're looking for, if it's close to the beach, if it's close to a city center, you like the bustling nightlife, something like that, your ideal daily life in Los Angeles, or you want something more low key, a good school district. We have to figure out what your priorities are before we can help advise you on what areas may be best for your lifestyle. And this isn't just a generic conversation. I want you to understand, or I want to understand rather, what makes you tick. Are you a beach person? Do you need to be near hiking trails? Are you looking for family-friendly community, a vibrant urban scene? This foundation is crucial because Los Angeles is a huge place, as I'm sure you know. And we're talking about dozens of distinct neighborhoods, each with its own personality, its own characteristics, its entirely own community style. So understanding your lifestyle is going to help me narrow down the perfect areas for you. The step two is obviously going to be get personalized neighborhood recommendations. Okay, so once I understand your needs, I'll create a personalized list of neighborhood recommendations just for you. These recommendations are going to be based on 4 key factors. And like I just went over a little bit of them, but it's going to be the commute. How close do you need to be work or major, transit routes, the airport, even if you're flying a lot. Schools, if you have kids, the quality of the school district is very important. And there are some great school districts here in LA. The next one is going to be the community vibe, the culture and the energy of the neighborhood, what fits your financial parameters. Is going to be the next one. Of course, your budget is super important. So LA is incredibly diverse, like we've kind of talked about already. You've got beach communities like Manhattan Beach, you have Venice, you have family-friendly suburbs like Pasadena, and you have Calabasas. You have urban hotspots kind of like Silver Lake or downtown LA or Echo Park, and luxury enclaves like Beverly Hills or Bel Air. And I'll help you understand the pros and cons of each area so that you can make the best decision for yourself and your family. Step 3 here is going to be review the curated property options. So this becomes the fun part, right? Looking at homes. This is what it's all about. So I'm going to handpick properties that match your specific criteria. These aren't random listings that I'm sending you. Every property I share has been carefully selected based on everything we've discussed in our initial call. And they may or may not be on the market, especially in markets like this here in 2026. We have a lot lower inventory. And a lot of the inventory is outdated, I've noticed. So a solution we found for a lot of our buyers is finding those off-market picks, whether that's canceled listings from a year ago that have maybe not considered selling yet again, or whether that's just a seller that's gearing up to move and we go and find them through our database and our networking, and we've been very successful with this. But you're going to receive detailed property information. You're going to receive high quality photos, of course, and virtual tours. You're going to receive neighborhood insights into every neighborhood that we look into. And of course, my honest assessment of each property's value and future value. And on my website, you'll see there's lots of tools you can use, whether that's refinance calculators, solar savings calculators, return on investment calculators. So whatever it is that you're looking for, we can handle. And this curated approach is going to save you time, and it's going to ensure that you're only looking at homes that really really fit for what you're looking for. The next step is going to be, get pre-approved. And honestly, I would have this before step 3 too. But it just depends, because you want to find your neighborhood too, and I understand that. A lot of people may want to move here, maybe rent for a month in an Airbnb while they kind of figure out what area they want and then go get that pre-approval. That's okay too. So these steps are really interchangeable, but before we start really touring homes seriously and consistently, we're going to get you pre-approved for a mortgage. And this is why this is critical. It's going to show sellers that you're a serious buyer. So it might even help you get in the door quicker with some of those exclusive listings that I just talked about. Showing a pre-approval letter is going to get you in the door within 24 hours. They see you're a serious buyer and they know that you have the ability to close on their house. They're not going to turn down an opportunity to receive an offer from you. So it's going to give the next step, of course, or the next pro to that is it's going to give you a clear budget to work with, of course. It's going to speed up the buying process significantly. I can pinpoint exactly what you're looking for. I can even find ones that are, over the budget, and we can negotiate them down and we can make it work. Or we can stay on the lower side of the budget, maybe something that needs a slight remodel. So that way you're saving some money there if you're willing to put in the work. But that'll all be done in our initial conversation and finding out what exactly you're looking for. But in LA's competitive market, many sellers won't even consider offers without pre-approval. Most won't. And if any good agents that we're presenting an offer to, they're going to ask for a pre-approval, of course. Pre-qualification is great, but that's really only a just initial, you can get pre-qualified with a phone call with a lender, with the right lender. So it's a pre-approval is what matters, and that's what's serious. So I work with the best and most trusted local lenders who understand LA market inside and out. They're going to walk you through the pre-approval process and help you understand your financing options. Unless you have a bank that you're already working with or a lender that you're going to go to, I can help you out. But getting pre-approved early is going to give you confidence, and it puts you in a strong position when you find the right home. Because when you're walking in that home and you're approved for it, you can afford it, it's a whole different ball game. So step 5, explore neighborhoods virtually. So since you're relocating, you may not be able to visit Los Angeles multiple times before making a decision, and that's where virtual exploration comes in. So I can provide video tours of neighborhoods, virtual walkthroughs of specific areas, my local insights and insider knowledge, information about local amenities, restaurants, parks, community features. I'll really find the stuff that you're looking for, and I'll make sure I'm sending you videos of those communities too, so you can kind of start to visualize yourself there. And right behind me, by the way, this is Sherman Oaks. This is kind of a little bit more downtown Sherman Oaks. I'm in, my office is in the Galleria. So it's a pretty good view out here. I love Sherman Oaks. So, if you're thinking about LA, maybe Sherman Oaks is a spot you could maybe take a look at. But anyway, I'll show you what it's really like to live in each neighborhood. I've lived all over the place. I've lived on the west side. I lived in Mar Vista. I lived in Inglewood. I live in North Hollywood. My office is here in Sherman Oaks. I've been all over the valley. So I have that insight that you're looking for. But I'm not just going to show you the lifestyle. I'm going to show what's the coffee shop situation, where do families hang out on the weekends, what's the traffic like during rush hour. I'm going to give you a real feel for the area before you even set foot in LA if you haven't already. The next step, and of course some of these steps are interchangeable. It all depends on what your situation is. So like I said, that first one, or step 4 and 5, they could be interchangeable. We have virtual tours and you're going to see them in person. It just depends what your situation is. If you're able to escape work for a couple days to visit LA and go take a look at some properties, or how quickly you're looking to get this done. But step 6, compare your property values and investment potential. So let's talk numbers and future value. With my market guidance, we're going to analyze the current property values in your target neighborhoods, the areas that fit your lifestyle. We're going to look at the historical appreciation rates. We're going to look at the investment potential. So that means, like future development plans in the area. That could be how many stories can you build up? How many ADUs can you add in the back, which typically with single family homes, if you have a single family home on the lot, you can only add up to 2 ADUs. Depending on the lot. But then there's also affordable housing options. If you're looking to develop, you can buy your own plot of land and build up to 10 ADUs that you can almost subdivide in the next year and sell individually. And that would be, of course, if you're not looking to live in one of those. If you're just looking to come here, invest, and rent your own place, that's another option. The LA real estate market is really dynamic, and understanding these factors can help you make a smart investment, not just an emotional purchase. So like I've talked about in my previous videos, there's something that you can do with an FHA loan where you can buy a 2 to 4 unit income property. And that can be an extremely powerful way to get into the Los Angeles housing market, which is significantly, pricier than, the Midwest or the South or other areas of the country. So sometimes you might need that. And it's not always, downgrading your quality of life as much as you think. You might be able to get a very nice townhome and you're renting out 2 in the back and you're getting that income to offset your mortgage. But look at my other videos if you want to kind of hear about that. But anyway, I'll provide you with a comparative market analysis, of course, for each property so that you can really see how these properties stack up against each other and understand what you're getting for your money. All right, and then next, you got touring homes. So now it's time to see your top choices in person. And how I'll make it easy for you is I'm going to coordinate all the access, of course. I'm going to create, and this is the easy part of my job. I'm going to coordinate all the access, schedule the showings, create an efficient touring schedule, guide you through each property, pointing out the things you might miss. I have an eye for looking for the damage on housing, whether that's at the foundation or looking for termite damage, whatever it is. That's stuff that you guys will be able to spot too, if you just have that keen eye. But all of it really comes down to inspection reports and making sure that we're doing our due diligence on the property, seeing that it doesn't need too much work, that it's not going to be a money pit for you. And for remote tours, if you can't be here in person, I'll conduct live video tours for you if you can, showing you every detail and answering questions in real time. I can have the listing agent next to me, or if it's me representing the seller, I can, have the seller there with me as well, whatever's more comfortable for you. But either way, I'll be your eyes and ears. I'm going to provide honest feedback for you about each property's condition, potential issues, and true value. If I take a look at a house and I say, I think this is a terrible investment, it's in a, undesirable area, and it's overpriced, and it's in bad condition. The roof is about to need replacing. It's been up there for 30 something years. The AC is 10 years old. The plumbing needs to be replaced. The electric needs to be fixed. All that, we're going to run away and we'll find something better. So we typically tour multiple homes, of course, so you can compare and get a clear sense of what's available in your price range. Step 8, we're going to evaluate your options. After touring, it's time for a thorough evaluation. So together, we're going to create side-by-side comparisons looking at the commute times, the school districts, the amenities, the property condition, the future potential, like we just talked about with all those. This analytical approach ensures that you're making a decision based on facts, not just feelings. So while emotional connection to a home matters, we want to make sure that it checks all your practical and financial boxes as well. Next is going to be select your top properties. Okay, so by now, you should have one or two clear favorites, some front runners. And once you've selected your top priorities, we'll run deeper comps, conduct additional area research. We're going to find recent comparable sales in the neighborhood if I have not done already. But like I said, we're going to do a deeper dive this time. We're going to find any upcoming developments or changes planned for the area. We're going to find, more detailed school information, crime statistics as well. We want to make sure you're in a safe spot, a safe street even. HOA information and restrictions, if that's even applicable in this situation. A lot of areas, and especially the Valley too, don't even have HOAs. So it just depends where you're looking. And this deeper dive is going to confirm that you're making the right choice and the right purchase. And it's going to give you the data you need to make a strong, informed offer. Next, of course, we're going to make that strategic, strong, informed offer. All right, so it's time to make your move. We have our documents ready. You got your negotiation specialist certified by CAR ready to go. And this is going to reflect, with my negotiation support and market expertise, we're going to craft an offer that's going to reflect the true market value. We're going to position you competitively against other buyers, if there are any other buyers. And that's kind of the draw to, and the pro to finding those off markets, those canceled, those expires, is we don't have that competition to deal with. It's just me negotiating and getting it done for you. And we don't have to worry about any other parties getting involved, trying to push our offer up. We don't want to deal with that. But if we are, we're going to make sure that we only go so high as that house deserves, right? We're not going to bid above just because there's a competitive buyer that's willing to pay all cash above what the home is worth. We don't want to make a bad investment. So we're going to make an offer that, of course, reflects that true market value. We're going to position you against competitive other buyers, like we said. We're going to protect your interest with appropriate contingency deadlines. So whether that's the appraisal, the loan, the insurance, which, I have solutions with that, with a guy that can do fully transferable fire insurance, etc., all that. And we're going to include terms that appeal to the seller without compromising what you're looking for in this escrow. And we want that longer escrow so that you have time to do all the inspections on the property that you need. And the LA market can be pretty competitive, so strategy matters. So that's why I'm going to advise you on the optimal offer price, whether to include escalation clauses, which basically means if there is a competitive buyer on the other side, we want to make sure that the listing agent is compelled and almost obligated to tell us what that amount is, right? So if we offer, say, $1,000,000 and we have an escalation clause in our offer and someone offers $1,050,000, that escalation clause means that we will immediately counter offer up to $1,051,000 or whatever it is, so long as they provide proof of that competitive offer, and so long as you are not willing to lose this house. And that's the only time this escalation clause needs to be used, is if you're going on a house with other competition and you want to make sure that you don't lose that property. This is where that escalation clause is going to come into effect. I'll advise you on that and which contingencies to include or waive, because of course if you're buying one that's in rougher shape, you might waive that inspection contingency if you're going to level the house anyways. But yeah, and we're going to show you how to make your offer stand out, because that's the other thing. If you got 2-3 offers on the table, we have to find a way to make your offer stand out, and I know how to do that. I build rapport with the listing agent in addition to making a nice clean offer. I know how to write offers. I write my own offers. A lot of other agents you'll see doing transaction coordinators. I have people that look mine over, of course, but I write them myself because I know how to get them accepted. But my goal is to get you the home you love at the best possible price and terms. And then comes step 11. We get that offer accepted. We're going to coordinate inspections, appraisal, the escrow. So congratulations, but we're not done yet. I'll coordinate everything with my full assistance. So inspections, I'll schedule thorough home inspections and review the results with you. So that's the general inspection, the chimney inspection, everything under the sun, sewer inspection. We want to get as much done as we can if it's needed. Advising you on any necessary negotiations for repairs will also be my job, because we're not going to walk into a house that's a money pit, right? And we're also not going to walk into a house that has a bunch of things that were not disclosed in the seller's SPQ, the seller property questionnaire, or the initial disclosures, because whether they intentionally chose not to mention those things or not, that's not your responsibility to pay for those things if it's not reflected in the purchase price already, right? So after those inspections, we have an appraisal, of course. So I'll coordinate the appraisal, either with your lender or the preferred lender that I refer you to, and ensure that process goes smoothly. I'll provide the appraiser with comps. And in the escrow timeline, I'll manage all the deadlines and ensure that you meet every milestone, and we're going to have a seamless escrow, from contingency removal to the final walkthrough, and make sure that it's stress-free and seamless. So this is where having an experienced agent is really going to pay off. I'm going to handle all the moving parts so you don't have to stress about the missing deadlines or coordinating between multiple parties. Step 12 is going to be getting a moving company, right? So let's talk about the physical move itself. I'll provide you with recommendations for reputable moving companies that specialize in long-distance relocations. We're going to have packing services if you need them. We're going to have storage solutions if there's a gap between your move-out and move-in dates. We're going to plan your move-in very comprehensively, because planning your move-in logistics is crucial, especially when you're coming from out of state. Okay, so I'll help you create a timeline that not only makes sense, but works very well for your schedule. And I'm going to connect you with trusted professionals who are going to take care of your belongings, love and care for all of them. And don't forget about the essentials, because I'm going to provide you with a comprehensive checklist and links, contacts for internet and cable providers, gas and electric companies, water service, trash and recycling, any other local services that you'll need. I'll also share tips about which providers offer the best service in your specific neighborhood. Setting up utilities ahead of time ensures everything is ready when you arrive at your new home. You will not believe how many people buy a home and they forget to turn on their utilities, and then the weekend comes, everything's shut off, and they can't get a hold of anyone because it's a Saturday. So having that done preemptively is important, of course. Step 14 now, receive your personalized Welcome to LA guide. Okay, so it's going to be coming from me. Welcome to Los Angeles. To help you settle in quickly, I'm going to create a personalized guide just for you, featuring restaurants from casual breakfast spots to date night destinations to gym and fitness studios where the locals work out. You got parks and recreation, best spot for kids, for dogs, for outdoor activities, and essential services. So, the best grocery stores around, pharmacies, dry cleaners, car washes, and then the local favorites, the hidden gems that will make your neighborhood special, that only that community seems to go to and really know about. Stay away from the touristy spots. And this isn't a generic tourist guide. This is insider knowledge about your neighborhood that will help you feel at home immediately, right? And then we have step 15, settle in confidently. The final step is the most important, settling into your new life with confidence. But here's what sets my service apart. I don't disappear after closing. You have ongoing support for anything you need post-move, questions about your new neighborhood, you can call me. You need a referral for a contractor, a plumber, electrician, I've got you covered. If you want recommendations for pediatricians, vets, or other services, I'm here to help. I've handled it all. And my goal isn't just to help you buy a house, it's really to help you build a new life in Los Angeles, or continue your previous lifestyle here in Los Angeles as close as you can. I want you to feel connected, I want you to feel supported, and I want you to feel confident in your new community and in your new home. So there you have it. That's my complete 15-step process for relocating clients to Los Angeles, either from out of state or another city, whatever it may be, and buying your dream home. So if you're considering making the move to LA, I'd love to help you navigate this journey. You can visit my website at bradyhomes.co to learn about my relocation services or to schedule your free consultation. You can also call me at the number in the caption. It's going to be 636-375-1479. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, of course, for more Los Angeles real estate insight, neighborhood guides, and home buying tips. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any updates. And I'm Logan Brady with Brady Homes, and I can't wait to help you find your perfect place here in LA.